Let's talk about the stuff that makes you question everything. The moments where you're like, well, I just ruined everything. And like open mouth, insert foot. Yeah, same. But some of those failures ended up being the best things that have ever happened to me. After the crying and the cussing and coping snacks. When you're in those moments where you're like, yeah, I just messed everything up, maybe you're just being redirected. Maybe you're just getting to that place where it's going to be the best part of your life as long as you learn and grow from it. And that's what we're going to talk about on today's episode of Random Candace Thoughts. So, welcome. I'm Candace, your favorite mom, nana, and professional overthinker extraordinaire. This is where I share my unfiltered take on life, business, and pretty much any random thing that pops into my head. So let's get started, bestie. I will be 100% honest with you. When I lost everything that I had worked for in the Air Force, I felt like the biggest failure, probably the biggest failure of my life. And now that was due to my poor choices, right? But what I didn't see coming was actually the start of something even greater. And this episode is for anybody stuck in the middle of a mess and wondering if you're ever going to get out of it. Because these life lessons, they're here to help you grow. We are in the age of social media, and everything looks perfect. It makes it look like everybody is winning all of the time. The reality check of that is the overnight successes that you see are actually people that have built and grown, and they've built this mountain of failures underneath of them to get to that point that they're at. It's not constant winning, even though that's what social media wants us to believe sometimes. Social media really messes us all up. Everybody's winning, right? Nobody is failing. Everybody's hitting goals. They're finding peace. They're manifesting those six figures in a trauma free life in 30 days. And meanwhile, I'm just trying to find socks that match and not cry every other week because of some business failure. But seriously, most of the successful people that I know didn't just avoid failure, they survived it. They learned through it. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's the path to success, and you can't skip it. You have to walk through it. And sometimes you're barefoot and there's Legos or splinters, but you have to walk through it. My biggest recommendation there is find a partner, find a community, find somebody that wants to do the same thing as you're doing, whether it's a business, whether it's fitness, whether it's social media, it doesn't matter. If you want to be good at fitness, you have a gym buddy, you have a gym partner. If you want to be good at creating content, you get a content buddy. You get a marketing partner. You get somebody that can walk the path with you and you can both learn together and grow. That would be my recommendation. And if you're looking for that, come on over to the Social Circle VIP, where we are helping people every single day. I could give you 1,000 examples of my own personal failures. I'm not just talking this talk through this microphone. I have walked this walk before. Here's just a couple. My military career. I lost my stripes. I lost my rank. I lost my entire identity. And I thought that it was the end of everything. I lost my marriage. I lost my kids for a short time and had to build that back. But guess what? That's how I ended up building a business. That's how I ended up building a life that actually feels like it's mine, like I own it. How about content that's flopped? I have poured my heart and soul into some of my content and it went nowhere. I was embarrassed, but all of those flops taught me what actually connected with people. It wasn't the polished stuff. It wasn't the real nice stuff with the covers. It was the real and the raw and the gritty failures with relationships, whether romantic or friendships. I thought I messed up so many times, and I did. And I did. But those bumps just put you on a different path, and they're making space for different things, maybe better things, maybe healthier things, maybe people that are more aligned with you. And that's what happened with me. In my last podcast episode, I talked about how I was straightforward with a friend and I was honest with her. And unfortunately, we're not friends anymore because of it. But that friendship was taking up a lot of my time, a lot of my time. And I thought I was being mean by telling her the truth at first. But again, it just turns out I was making more space for more time. And that's all I really want is more time. So, how do you know that it wasn't a failure? A couple things you could think about. Did you learn something? Did you grow from it? Did it give you any clarity, even if it was painful clarity? That's not a failure. If you can answer one or all of those questions, it is not a failure. Sometimes it takes the thing falling apart to find the thing that you need. Sometimes the thing falling apart is what saves you. It's just really hard to see it when you're in it. It's so hard to see it when you're sobbing in your car in the grocery store parking lot or in the middle of the night when everybody's asleep. It's just really hard. That brings me to Oliver's Light. And Oliver's Light is a segment that is dedicated to our late grandson, Oliver, who was born sleeping in January. And today's the 29th. And every 29th, we wear blue for Oliver. There's no silver lining to losing Oliver. Nothing good could come of that. And I won't pretend that there is. I won't pretend that I haven't stayed up late at night wondering the what ifs. But I will say this, his light has changed how I show up. His presence has reminded me of just how fragile life is and how precious my people are. And if you're still here, you're breathing, you're connecting, you're listening right now, you're not failing, you're living. And I would say you're winning if you look at the scoreboard. That's all that really matters. So every 29th, if you could honor Oliver by wearing blue. We started this tradition last month because my daughter and her family kind of felt like people were starting to forget and people were moving forward with their lives, which obviously you expect, but we want everybody to remember him. So if you ever find yourself on the 29th of a month, wear blue for Ollie and make sure you use the hashtag blue for Ollie. And I will put that information in the show notes. Your support means more to our family than any other words could express. So thank you. Here's your reminder that not everything that looks like a failure is one. Sometimes it's just the messy middle. And sometimes it's the exact thing that leads you to where you're really meant to be. If this hit home, tell me about it. Find me on social media. I'd love to hear your stories. Drop them in the comments. Tell me about something that felt like a total fail, but ended up working out better than you ever expected. Because that's the shit I'm here for. And I'd love to feature a few of your stories, either on the podcast or through my social media. So please share them. And thank you for joining us today on Random Candace Thoughts. Make sure you subscribe. Share this episode with a friend because why not?